Good morning. It's really early. The game's kind of loud. I think I'm gonna turn it down. At least on my end. Let me know if it's usually not terribly loud for streamers, but they're watchers. Again, it's really early. I'm gonna give it a few minutes because it's not quite 8:30, and then I'll turn the thingy off and we'll get going. I'm praying though that that when I turn that off that it's not just gonna not show, because it was a little fussy. It was a bit fussy this morning. Also, the typical disclaimer, I apologize. It does look like the mouse lags a little bit, but other than that, game looks like it runs okay. So, yeah, no, typical disclaimer, my computer's a piece of shit, and stuff doesn't like me a whole lot. So sometimes things don't play well. I don't usually have crash problems most of the time, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I haven't actually loaded anything for this. I loaded up the game and messed with settings, and that was about it. You may hear my little Vlad in the background. I finally got him to lay down and go to sleep, or rest at the most. So, I'm gonna smidge, because I'm looking at the volume thingy here, and I can't tell which one's louder, me or the audio for the game. So, okay, we're gonna click that off. Yay! It worked. Alright. So, hello. Welcome. My name is NosferKitty. This is Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. And I've actually got no idea what this game is, other than it's a visual novel. And anybody who's watched my YouTube channel long enough knows that I am a connoisseur of visual novels. So we're just gonna go ahead and go in and play the new game. If it'll let me. There we go. I didn't choose a save slot. Empty. Art's really pretty so far. And I have seen screenshots. Please don't crash. There we go. Okay. Oh. Is that a tour? No, the tour is down here. I don't know who I want to play as, because they don't give you... I knew that this was a thing. I knew that they weren't gonna give, like, a whole lot, which that's cool. I'm personally Clan Nosferatu. Clearly! This guy's cool looking. But... my secondary is Bruja. My best friend was a Tor. Okay, Ventru. He was art, romance, and cruelty. Oh, we're playing as a Tor. Lamar. Oh, we gotta pick a dude name? A dude name. I'm not good at dude names. Here. Jeremy, because that's the first thing that came to mind. Once again, it's a little laggy, and that's probably my fault. My computer's supposed to, you know, be able to handle this game. I double and triple checked, but it has problems on its own. It hates its own life sometimes, so. Come on. I like his button. You can't see my cursor. There we go. Don't know what this is. Okay. New York taught me to believe in fate. Had you asked me about fate back when I was human, I would have told you. Can I fix the read speed of this yet? No? Okay. I don't know what these buttons are, so I don't want to touch those. Had you asked me about fate back when I was human, I would have told you that it's just superstitious bullshit. That we're all designers of our own destinies. That belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, not a face you would have seen in the papers, of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. It happened in the very same place you're standing in right now, by the way. Fate? You decide. Please, there's absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen for a little longer. You see, my mistake was I flew too close to the sun. Wait. Why am I getting a tweet? Brenna, you're supposed to be in here, not tweeting me stuff. I flew too close. It makes sense that my punishment was to never see it glow again, or its glow again. Once again, it's early. I'm going to miss words, skip words, and probably make up my own words. So, I was incandescent myself. I was hot shit. I had it all. Money, looks, confidence, connections, men, women, a career, and a spark in the eye. What you need to be born with. And that's when someone far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. She robbed me of the light erupting from within me and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided it would fit me much better. She was a 9th generation kindred, just like you. An apex predator. She probably enjoyed showing me a peak of human excellence. I can't read right now. My real place in the food chain. Is this guy's head tilting back and forth? Okay. I thought I was going nuts because I'm like, hang on a minute. Why are you twitchy? It's such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braggart and see them for all they really are. The temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable, right? Well, my sire's lesson was about fate. A message saying, you're eternally doomed to being at the mercy of your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of doom. It was a message of hope. Fate exists, and one can shape it if given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys. Me, just her amusing subject. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right where she stood when we first met. You might have wondered how I learned about your arrival to JFK Airport. My answer is, of course, destiny. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day of some of my... Whoa, take two. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day of... Why am I having trouble with this? Today happened to be a day some of my associates were inspecting the coffins. Driving you here straight from the plane and having you wake up in such an unfamiliar place was a little desperate, and I do apologize for it. But it's so rare for you to visit New York. 3 times in the last 15 years, was it? And you're never eager to inform me you're here. I understand you still have that meeting on 53rd Street later tonight, so I'll provide a comfortable transport. That upstairs? What the fuck was that? Something shook. Sorry. I value our relationship very much. Don't get that wrong. But it is precisely because I value it that I'm going to ask you to repay the favor you owe me. You're the only one I trust to do the job well and without attracting attention. You might think I'm crazy, asking you to breach the rules of our society like this. You might think you won't get away with it unpunished. But this is New York, and I don't know about other cities, but in this one, fate really exists. And right now, it's smiling in your favor. Okay. I continued. I think. Ooh, that was a bad idea. Ooh. Encoding overloaded. Hey, come on. Once again, it may do some things that it shouldn't do. And it may take a little bit longer to load stuff than it would with anybody else, so I apologize. Come on. Uh-oh. Hello? Please? Okay, there we go. I think it's working. It just takes a little bit longer than it would for anybody else. So, maybe, can I get to the menu? Okay, cool. Settings, video, no dynamic backgrounds. Back. Hopefully, I mean, I know it probably, it's not, I mean, I apologize once again, but my computer, not great. Not great. This is how it begins. You stifle a yawn. Oh, that's way better. It's been a slow evening. A little bit of red liquid left in your glass and the crumbs on the plate remind you that, if nothing else, these art exhibitions... Exhibitions? I don't know why my brain is questioning that word. At least come with some decent wine and legit catering. And yeah, it's fun to talk about your work on display, even if you can end up discussing it with pretty much the same people at each such occasion. You've already met that one critic who keeps telling you, with self-assured authority, how you should pursue a different artistic avenue. Brain bliss. Then there's the obligatory doe-eyed art student who's oh so impressed with your technique. To be fair, you're not all that happy with your latest piece, but hey, it's not the worst thing you've seen tonight. That ignoble, dubious honor belongs to one of the other paintings on display. And yet, its author, currently being paraded around by his rich parents, has barely been able to grab a bite of the fancy canapes. Canapes? Yes. So many sycophants to meet, so little time. Think I've made a disclaimer about this in a video before. I know words when I've read them, not because I've heard them. So I don't know how to pronounce things sometimes. For a moment, you think For a moment, you think that maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you should take the critic's advice, cut your losses, sell out to some corporation and get it over with. And as if the universe wanted to validate that train of thought, that's the exact moment that your sister Emma decides to pop up in your view. So let me get this straight. Cushy corporate jobs are selling out, but supporting a billionaire's vanity project is totally fine with you? Hi, Em. You absolutely despise her as an artist. While you're struggling to uphold some nebulous ideals of what art is meant to be, she's perfecting her ways of mooching off the system. Shamelessly preying on little-known street art and niche internet memes, she repackages them as bougie-friendly collages. Ooh, Kelly is struggling today. I see you. Maybe we should cover this. So perhaps it's no wonder the NYT has recently dubbed her a mind-blowing explorer of digital art's extreme possibilities. But in spite of all that, you absolutely love her as a person, even as you welcome her by smacking the back of her head, a gesture meant to convey nothing but deep affection. No, but seriously, supporting young artists, my ass. I don't know what kind of money you got for this piece, but I doubt it was even a fraction of what it's going to be worth in tax benefits. The gallery owner actually said that if he had to choose his most valuable audience, it would be the IRS, and I'm pretty sure he was only half kidding. You mumble a non-answer and then look, fancy words, man, into a different subject, trying to preemptively quell her repeated offers to get you a steady job. Of course, she proves as insistent as ever. You know, sometimes I just don't get you. On the one hand, you wouldn't be caught dead taking money from the inevitable winner of the culture wars. And on the other, if someone gave you the chance to collaborate on some dumbass Oscar bait flick sponsored by Larry Ellison's bailout fund, you'd do that shit for free. She rolls her eyes and asks, You know what the only difference is between the art scene and the culture industry? The culture industry actually pays your bills. As expected of someone who's given up on attempts to infuse her work with any sort of enduring quality and decided to just keep responding to the zeitgeist. She claims to happily accept the fact that after she dies, both she and her work will end up in a landfill. When you respond that you prefer chasing a 1 in a million chance to immortalize yourself, she claims it reeks of an overinflated ego. But you've been down this road too many times before and managed to accept that she'll never understand what's truly important to you. Slowly but surely, you move on to more agreeable topics. Your plans to finally get hammered together, or the most recent crop of garbage Netflix shows your friends have tricked you into trying out. Speaking of which, alright, gotta go. I got a date. She peeks at a bunch of middle-aged men's in expensive suits who've stopped pretending to care about the exhibition and are exchanging the worst lecherous jokes they've got in their stale repertoire. Have fun with your friends, class traitor. She gives you a hug and heads for the nearby elevator. There goes the pleasant part of the evening. Still, you decide to delay the inevitable and catch a quick smoke break. Truth be told, people aren't exactly lining up to chat about your work anyway. As you leave your post, you start tapping your pockets in search of a lighter. Instead, you find a $100 bill you're absolutely sure wasn't there before. Jesus Christ, Em, you're the worst. And the best. You can feel your cheeks turn red, but you gratefully put the money in your wallet and move outside. You reach the balcony. You look out at New York City and light the second last cigarette left in the pack. You're alone. It's not silent. The metropolitan hum is ever present, even this high up. But it's a good deal more intimate than what's behind your back. Oh, that's not a good idea. Don't lean over the railing, bruh. Never lean over the railing. Like, no. You lean over the railing and look down. The streetlights beckon more than usual. In your mind's eye, you see yourself as your final artwork, beautifully splattered all over the pavement. Working title, Delusion of Grandeur. The author, a brilliant artistic soul. Pardon me. A brilliant artistic soul, crushed by unfeeling reality, gone too soon. You chuckle and flick the cigarette into the air. Freshened up by the night's cool breeze, you squeeze back into the stuffy interior. You barely make it a few steps before lethargy sets back in. It's like you never left. Still, something in the room feels different. Your eyes are drawn to a handsome young man, neatly dressed and groomed, exuding the air of a true artiste. And the best part, he's intently looking at your painting. The gallery is almost like an art installation itself now. People standing in silent awe. The guy like a beacon drawing everybody's attention. Hushed conversations about the guests can be heard from every corner of the gallery. Your heart is pounding with excitement, and you approach feeling like a kid trying to get close to a deer in the woods, but afraid you'll scare it away. The man turns to you, and you stop in your tracks, entranced. So this is one of your pieces. You manage to mumble an affirmation. Tell me about it, please. As you start discussing your inspiration, technique, and process, the man's eyes lock onto the painting again. He keeps interjecting, making knowing remarks. This guy gets it. He really gets it. The world around you disappears. You'll say anything, do anything to keep his attention on you, but you realize you don't need to. He's into your art. He's into you. I want to buy it, and I want your company. I need to talk to you. You will like what I have to say. Spoken matter-of-factly, served straight up, like he knows that you won't refuse, that you can't refuse. An hour later, you find yourself at his apartment, one of many, you presume, with your self-esteem all but patched up and your head full of fine vintage. You tell your host a lot. In fact, it seems like you're telling him everything. Where you came from, how you ended up in NYC, how you had to take out a loan to appear at tonight's event, how you took a long look down the balcony, that you thought about taking the plunge, and this time you were only half joking. You feel miserable. You start crying. He holds you in his arms. You feel calmer. The tears stop flowing. I get the feeling that I probably could have picked a female name, but at this point I don't think I care, because it's not giving pronouns, which is great. I just kind of assumed, which you should never do. That's my bad. Okay, anyway. It's been so long since you last had someone you could not just talk to, but communicate with, be seen by. Who knows? Maybe there's hope for you yet. The feeling of bliss is the last thing you remember before passing out. Next thing you know, you're lying on the couch in that same apartment, hungry and dehydrated. How long has it been? Hours? Days? More? You're feeling weak, confused, abandoned. You look around in panic. Is he still here? Thank God, yes. There he is, standing in the doorway. His voice breaks the silence and fills you with hope until you realize what he's saying. I am so sorry. I hope that maybe one night you will forgive me. And remember that in our parting moment, I wished you well. You try to speak, ask him to stay, but no voice leaves your parched throat. You taste something on your lips. Wiping your mouth leaves a crimson stain on your hand. It's not the wine. What the fuck? The door of the apartment closes behind him. Alone. Again. Then the pain hits. It's a headache, a lurching in your stomach, a burning in your arms and legs. It's all you can focus on. Panic takes you. You fall from the sofa and hit a wine glass. It flies off into a wall, shattering into bits. A mumble from the corner of the room indicates you're not as alone as you thought. From where you're lying, you only see a feminine shape, stirring awake. You crawl towards the woman, inch by inch. The pain turns into an urge. You need to get close to her. You begin to see the details, the long hair shrouding her face, the worn-out NYU hoodie thrown over her skimpy peach-colored dress. She opens her eyes, moves her locks to the side, exposes her neck. A rabid instinct takes you. In the blink of an eye, you find yourself buried in her hair, smelling her sweat, mixed with just a hint of cheap perfume. You bite down and drink the blood from her vein. Wait. What is happening? You break away. You look at the girl. She lets out a sigh, goes limp and unconscious again. You try to crawl back. Her dress rolled up to the side and you glance at her naked thigh. You lose control again. Bite her leg. Drink deep from the artery. It's intoxicating. It's bliss like you've never known before. It's beautiful. You break away again. Fall to your back. What the hell was that? Did you really drink her blood? She's not moving. Oh God, she's not moving. You check her pulse. She's cold to the touch. Nothing. No heartbeat, no sign of breathing. That's when it hits you. Your chest isn't moving either. Your heart is not beating. You are cold to the touch. You reach for your phone. It's not there. Where did you leave it? Or maybe he took it. It's impossible to say. You stumble around the apartment, but find nothing you can use to call for help. You need to get out of here. Now. You look outside the window. You're high above the streets. There's no balcony, and the building's exterior is glass almost all the way down. You'd never survive the jump. But maybe that's precisely why you should leave the room this way. You've just killed somebody. Your life is essentially over. A sickening void is opening in your stomach, warning you that your reality is about to turn into an unbearable hell. A voice in the back of your head tells you the smartest course of action is to take the leap before it does, and the more you argue with it, the more reasonable it sounds. You're just about ready to pick up one of the chairs and try to break the window when you hear the clinking of keys in the lock. You freeze in place. This is bad. Your thoughts start racing desperately, but instead of a rational course of action, only visions of false hope come to your mind. What if it's him? What if he's had a change of heart? What if he sent someone for me? You almost feel your heart beat again with excitement as the doors open. Almost, but not quite. A man enters, but not the one you expected. He's tall, broad shoulders, handsome with darkish skin. His suit is stylish and immaculate. You've never seen him in your life, but you immediately see past his sharp looks and his sharper nature. Excuse me. He's a predator. If you're not careful, you might become his prey. Ooh. You're cute. Excuse me. Hang on a second. I gotta check something. Okay. Sorry. Good evening. I'm here to pick you up. A deep, emotionless voice. He turns his eyes to the lifeless body of the girl in the purple NYU hoodie and raises an eyebrow. This isn't what it looks like. Okay, we are a man. Okay, cool. Or, well, presumably a male. I'm trying not to bump the mic, but I want my tea. Okay. This isn't what it looks like. Please, you have to help me. That's what I'm here for. After a fashion. I don't know what that means, but okay. He approaches the bed to examine the corpse from up close. Well, this is unfortunate, but preferable to going insane from hunger. Quite a nice gesture, actually, if troublesome. He briefly looks at you with something like pity in his eyes, then changes his expression to a perfectly blank one. Listen, you may perceive your current situation as something out of the ordinary, but I've met hundreds of lost sheep like you, and you see, I tended to fall into two categories. First, there were the smart ones, those who carefully obeyed my every word and didn't pull off any stupid stunts. They always got where they needed to go safe and sound. Then, there were the dumb ones. The punks who thought they could take me on. The wise guys who tried to contact somebody secretly without permission. The troublemakers who tried to run off or make a scene. None of them got to their destination in one piece. In fact, a lot of them never reached their destination at all. The man talks, I can't do that when I don't know the tone beforehand. Anyhow, the man talks in a bored, professional tone, giving off an impression that he really has delivered this speech countless times by now. You see, despite being a smart person, I'm a Mets fan. I love baseball, and it inspired me to come up with a 3-strike system to determine if someone is dumb. You get on my nerves 1 or 2 times? Well, I understand. Not all of us perform well in stressful circumstances. But if you do it 3 times, understand there will be no excuse, no forgiveness, no mercy. His presence changes ever so slightly. I sit or say, I understand, sir. Now. You feel an overwhelming, barely resistible urge to fill his demand. Fuck you, sir. I understand, sir. Look. I would be like, fuck you, but this is a completely different game than Red Embrace, so, no. No, we don't do this. I don't think I put it out on Twitter that I am live, so, we're gonna do that real quick. So, just 1 second. Let's see. I should really save this. Okay, here we go. I understand, sir. Continue. Excellent. Alright, have you got anyone you'd like to inform about your current situation and tell them you're alright? He flashes his fangs briefly as he talks, and for some reason, the sight, causes a chill to run down your spine. Something's wrong with him. Someone closest to you. My sister. Emma, my sister. She's probably having a night out in Brooklyn with her artiste friends. Can I call her now? You take out your phone. Wait a minute. Bro, I thought we didn't have our phone. Excuse me, plot hole. Hello? Anyway, you take out your phone while asking the question. He shakes his head and points at the hooded corpse next to him. If you want to implicate her, go ahead. I think we'd all be better off if you let me make sure that she only knows what she needs to know. Yeah, agreed. Give me your phone number. I'll have someone get in touch with her. I'm just checking to make sure Vlad is actually falling back asleep. Good kitty. You oblige and hand him the smartphone so he can copy the number from your list of contacts. Thank you. This will be useful in illustrating my next point. Instead of giving you back your phone, the man hides it in his pocket. From this night onwards, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew up with, and you'll be watched by many eyes to ensure these laws are respected. You are forbidden from letting anybody you know you're still alive. You are forbidden from showing your face anywhere they know you. If anyone comes to search for you, it's over, both for you and them. He interrupts his monotone recitation to stare deep into your eyes. So if you don't want someone to find your poor sister's body in the Hudson River next week, cooperate. The sight of his fangs again, and another physical fight-or-flight response. You've played right into his hands, putting M in danger. Look, no I didn't. It's probably... Look, I have seen LA by Night. I know it's probably, like, a little bit safer to let this guy know that I have a sister. Because if someone else finds out without, protection, because I feel like Mr. Man here could probably provide some protection for M. Hopefully. Please, Mr. Tor. Anyway, I can only hope that you care enough for her not to do anything selfish. But now, you're absolutely sure he's just toying with you, provoking you to just feed on your reactions. He hasn't told you where you're going yet, but he's already made it abundantly clear that a lot of people struggled hard to avoid getting there. He'd be far more eager to cooperate if he'd never raised the subject, but he made it a point to make you fear the unknown. He's pushing you, but to what end? Does he want to intimidate you into complete submission? Is he hoping you'd give him an excuse to get rid of you? Or maybe he's testing you, forcing you to show what you're made of? Somehow he makes all of these options seem plausible at once. Alright, I think that's enough lectures for today. He takes a glance at his silver watch. I don't know what that is. A Patek Philippe? I'm a bargain bin bitch? I don't know what this is. The kind of brand mere mortals never see outside of luxury lifestyle magazines. Who are you dealing with here? It's past 3 a.m. now. The sun will come up in just a few hours, so we don't have much time. Come, we need to leave so that corpse can be taken care of. He turns his back on you to unlock the door. I'm gonna go with him. Better to be compliant than to fight the man that is probably 20 times stronger than I am. Besides, I'm sorry, but even if I was super confused, I would probably go with, the flow here. Maybe not, so easily, but I would do what I needed to in order to not die. Because that's kind of what you need to do. Okay. You obediently follow him out of the room before he locks it again. You obediently follow him out of the room. I didn't see the period there. Before he locks it again, you manage to take a final glimpse of the corpse. You feel a pang of conscience, but you don't, not because of your victim's horrible fate. It's because you don't feel guilty, even though you know you should. Something important inside of you that was still there yesterday has definitely died tonight. Ooh, hiccups, hello. You wonder if you'd even recognize yourself in the mirror. Can VtM vampires see themselves in the mirror? The stranger shows you to the elevator. You go to the ground floor. During an awkward ride, your dazed and confused mind desperately searches for a glimmer of hope, and eventually comes across one. Maybe you'll find the man you met earlier this night. Who, what? Okay, go with this one. Why did that man target me? What was their motive? That's what I'd like to know. As of yet, he is unidentified. They've left no trace, and it's obvious they were not planning to come back for you. If, and that's a big if, you ever see them again, it'll be tomorrow, and probably for the last time. I want to see him. This compulsion is natural, but for now, I can only say this. It lies in his best interest to never see you again. Aww. I mean, he probably... Oh, that's right, because you're not supposed to turn without, asking, I think. I think you have to get permission. I don't remember. I know there's rules. And I always mix up, like, the rules from my own vampire book stuff with everybody else's vampire stuff, so... Anyway. The elevator door opens to an empty hall. You walk outside, past the night guard's post, which is empty. The cold night air reminds you of the balcony. Just a few hours ago. The man motions to a black Cadillac Escalade. Take a seat in the back, please. I need chapstick. Hold on a minute. Okay. Get inside. The man closes the door behind you. You hear it click as it locks. The Cadillac is almost entirely dark. The side windows seem light-proof. The man gets into the driver's seat, starts the engine, and drives away without comment. Oh, I didn't even see his eyes. Hi! Where are we going? Where are you taking me? A safe place. Forgive me, I'm not in a talkative mood. This won't be a long drive. Patience. Dead silence fills the car. You close your eyelids and sink back into your thoughts. I blurry after him into the man who bought your painting is still there. It's strange. You've never felt this way about anybody. It makes you happy, even though you have a nagging thought about that there's something fundamentally abusive about this attraction. I mean, I guess? I don't know. But then the girl's hair, spilled over the purple hoodie, and her blood, spilled all over the cold floor, come into sharp focus. You wince. You want to cry, but it's as if there were no more tears left in you. After what feels like an eternity, the car comes to a stop. You get out in an underground parking lot. It's an ugly, concrete gray thing. Empty, but for the car you came in. Oh, empty, but for the car you came in. Commas are weird. It looks like there's a room beyond a metal door in the wall. Guess you'll live to see another night. Follow me. He opens the metal door and lets you inside. Here we are. These are your lodgings for tonight. You get hungry again, take a look in the fridge. Tomorrow I will come pick you up. Can I know your name, Mr. Man, please? Because this is a little strange. The cramped room has no windows, just a simple bed, a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling, a small humming fridge, and a rattling AC fan in the wall. Why am my phone vibrate? Why are we vibrating? Hello? Okay. Ow. It has all the coziness of a solitary prison cell. You notice claw marks on the inside or inner side of the entrance door. Oh, that's comforting. I need medical help. I'm not going in there. Mercy, please. I need medical help. I can't feel myself breathing. I can't sense my heartbeat. I need to go to a hospital, man. You're gonna be fine. Listen, normally I'd lose my nerve right about now and things would get nasty. But I get it. You're scared. Is that outsiders at the headphones? Okay. These headphones are super bassy. So sometimes I can't tell if it's like helicopter or, you know, not helicopter. But I get it. You're scared. You don't understand what happened. Trust me, you will learn tomorrow, but now I need you to rest. And you need you to rest. I was like, why did you repeat that twice? He gestures inside the room. Finding no more willpower to resist, you step inside. The stranger nods contently. Good night. He locks the door behind you. It looks very secure and sturdy. Am I in a closet? You open the fridge. There's a single plastic bag in there, filled with red liquid, unlabeled. Tomato soup? You feel sick to your stomach. Best leave it for now. You lie down on the bed. It's a simple mattress on a metal frame, kind of grimy and damp. Seeing it makes you grimace, but you're just too tired not to lie down. Your entire body hurts. A dull feeling that makes you feel heavy. You're vulnerable and lonely. Usually when that happens, you turn your attention to painting, just to not think about the alternative. Hello, brain. Your family upbringing left you with no skills but artistic talent. Creating art used to be something of an unpleasant duty. Somewhere along the line, though, it became the only weapon you had to fight with. It became the only weapon you had to fight with existential despair. Some of your best work was created in lieu of impotently crying in bed. Hell, you're pretty sure a few of those pieces had your tears mixed in with the paint. Like the painting that led your whole night to this. You look back at your life and it starts looking like a downward spiral. You're so tired. Your entire body tenses up, and before you know it, you drift away into oblivion. You wake up. That in itself is a surprise. I barely remember when you drifted off. It didn't feel quite like sleep, more like plummeting into an endless void. You imagine that's how death feels like. The room is unchanged. The lamp is still on, the AC is still rattling, the refrigerator's still humming. You take a look at your watch. It's almost 9 p.m. You slept for 17 hours straight. I've done that before. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone and you feel no thumping in your chest. Does that qualify as dead as you're still conscious? You're not sure about that, but you are certain about one thing. You are hungry. Not your stomach rumbling, though. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. You open the fridge. The bag's still there. You take a closer look at it. If it's soup, then its color and texture are off. You pull the cork out, take a whiff. You pull the cork out, take a whiff. Recognize the smell immediately. Holy shit. There's no mistaking it. It's bagged blood. The smell is faint, and you remember some situations in the past when you found it nauseating. But now it's almost... No, not almost. It is enticing. We are going to drink the blood. It feels wrong, but right now there's barely anything in your life that doesn't. To hell with it. You pour a bit of the liquid into your mouth. It tastes bland. Reminds you of cheap supermarket juice. Just enough flavor to register as what it claims to be on the box, but nothing like the real thing. Nothing like what you had the last time. It's a Capri Sun! Although that's more rats. Rats are the Capri Suns. You swallow it. Somehow you don't feel sick. In a weird, messed up way, you can't help think that it feels nourishing. You take God, the swallowing sound. You take a few more sips. Then just another one. Suck on the bag a little more. Eventually, you find that you've emptied it entirely. You looked into the info pressed into the side of the bag. 450 milliliters of it. Even with its blandness, you still feel like having more. You realize your body longs for that intoxication high you felt when an image of that corpse crosses your mind, causing you to wince. What have you become? Oh. You try to piece your thoughts together, make sense of it all, when you hear the lock click and see the door open. Standing there is the well-dressed stranger you met yesterday. Immaculate suit again, that predatory look, like a hawk on a hunt. But somehow, more relaxed tonight. So, like a tamed hawk, maybe. Good evening. Slept well? He notices the discarded, emptied bag. I see you had a bit of a snack. Okay. The hungry bitch in me would be like, this one? Am I still human? Am I still a human being? Luckily, one does not typically shed their entire humanity in 2 nights. You should be fine. Come on, we've got places to be. Car is humming in the empty parking lot just outside the door of the cramped room you spent the day in. The man motions to it politely, but with a stern look on his face. Hijack the car. What? Why would I do that? This man has told me that he would kick my ass. And he's way stronger than me, I guarantee it. Not gonna happen. Get in the car. Okay, lead the way. Besides, I'm a fledge. And this isn't Bloodlines. I am not ready to be left on my own yet. After you. You take the back seat again. The doors lock. The stranger takes the wheel and starts the car. You drive in silence for a while. From time to time, you keep trying to catch glimpses of familiar streets or landmarks through the blackened windows, but it's of little use. The car is also soundproof, so all you can hear is a bit of traffic humming in the car's engine. The driver doesn't say anything and seems focused on the road. You check the door handle. Yeah, the door is locked alright. The piece of dark glass separating you and the front of the car is... the door... Oh, okay. Come on, brain. Wake up. piece of dark glass separating you in the front of the car looks sturdy too. There's nothing left to do but wait. You didn't have time to think about it before, but you realize now that you're hungry? No, not exactly. It's not a rumbling stomach that grabs your attention. It's a need that starts in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and... I'm hungry still? Wait a minute, this is the same thing I read already. You'd try to extract some information out of the man behind the wheel, but you'd realize that you'd prefer to bask in the afterglow of your last meal. You wouldn't have expected it, but you spent the rest of the trip lost in your thoughts. A lot of them concerned blood. It takes you another 20 minutes or so to get to your destination. As the door opens, you try to get your bearings. You're still in New York, that much is certain. Queens, maybe. Wait, you know exactly where you are. The nice-looking two-story building has a logo you immediately recognize. The Art Hole. An avant-garde gallery. Avant-garde. I think I said avant-garde. Oops. Used to hold that collection of bagged viscera and body parts by... You can't quite remember the guy's name. He's Brazilian, you think. Fabio something or other. No, I gotta stop. You keep hitting the mic. After me. No sudden movements, please. You've never been inside. Not quite your style. But the place has quite the cult following. You keep racking your brain for more facts, hoping they'll help you with whatever you got into. Two men in large suits flank the door on the gallery, or to the gallery on both sides, and they give your companion a nod as you approach. Prompted by the stranger who guides you, you walk inside. The gallery is full, which is unusual at this hour to say the least. About 24 faces fill the showroom, and a number of waiters navigate the gathering, serving drinks. All of them are beneath the guests' attention. The visitors are well dressed for the most part, but it's unclear what they have gathered here for. Nobody seems particularly interested in the art pieces on the walls, and the atmosphere is polite, and naturally so. Many guests turn to look at you and the stranger who brought you here. Their glances are varied. You see open contempt on a few faces and an animated interest on others. Most of the eyes in the room calmly observe you, as if wishing to praise your worth. Memories come back to you like a bad case of PTSD. How many times before has someone judged you, impassively or decisively, through your art? You'd share a piece of yourself with the world, and it'd respond by making you feel like garbage. It always took a lot of effort not to lose your cool and tell all of them to shove their opinions up their collective asses. Now, looking around, it feels like you've become another artwork as a commodity to be judged by a bunch of obscenely wealthy, out-of-touch assholes. Makes you want to scream. You're pretty. Your hair's kind of weird, but you're pretty. Oh, I hope I pronounce your name right. Oh no. Good evening, Kadir. Kadir, please, Jesus, please tell me I'm pronouncing that name right. And to you, child. The noble, cold voice takes you out of your head and back to the situation at hand. The gallery, a crowd of strangers. You being brought here against your will. For what purpose? The room awaits your response. Good evening, miss. You are addressing the Prince of New York City, Helena Panhard, child of Michaela. Ooh, I am bad with names. Thank you, my sheriff, but I'm capable of introducing myself. She is somewhat plain-looking and doesn't seem to possess a great deal of charm, but still the entire room is intently focused on her voice. She has influence over these people. That much is clear. You may address me as Prince, child. I realize your introduction into unlife was abrupt, and I understand your sire left shortly after. The rules of our society dictate I punish you both for this transgression. A murmur of agreement, maybe, can be heard from the gathered audience. I'm willing to listen to what our loyal sheriff has to say about the circumstances of your embrace first. I don't understand. Wait, I'm confused. What are you saying? I think it shall all become clear momentarily. You're pushed headfirst into a world you have not realized the existence of. But before you can partake in it, there needs to be a trial. You are about to be judged by the Court of New York City. Kadir, please tell us how you found this fledgling and what happened on your way here. Court? Prince? Is this some kind of secret society make-believe? A trusted informant, who has chosen to remain anonymous at this time, tipped me off about a suspicious kindred appearing in one of our domains. Upon investigating, I found them gone, but this fledgling remained in their place. Interestingly, his sire made use of an older haven of one of the clan of... Brain. Interestingly, his sire made use of an older haven of one of the clan of the Rose for the embrace. They were even thoughtful enough to leave a local woman for the fledgling to slake his thirst on. Despite some reservations, he offered little resistance last night and cooperated on our way to the safe house. I was pleased to not have to enforce his compliance. We had a quick chat, but wishing to appear here post-haste, I urged him to join me, which he did without struggle. Pleasant departure from my usual routine, I must say. His thirst partially slaked with the bagged blood we kept in the safe house. We had a pleasant enough drive here. The story ends with us arriving at Elysium tonight. I should know how to pronounce these words, but once again, I am not the best at words. All eyes are on you again. You take special interest in one of the faces. It's a beautiful woman with curly, almost blood-red hair and a dress to match. You see her whispering to some bespectacled man with an absent-minded look on his face. Who is she, you wonder? Thank you, Kadir. I take note of this fledgling's behavior, and I will take it into consideration later. She turns her attention to you. First, there is the matter of your sire, the person who brought you where Kadir picked you up from last night. Who were they? A beautiful man. He was beautiful, charismatic, charming, dark hair, a sort of artistic mess. He had an accent I couldn't recognize. He took notice of my art, bought a piece in fact. I want to meet him again. That last sentence came out almost involuntarily. You immediately feel ashamed, sounding like a sad puppy whimpering after their master. Yes, you do want to meet that man again. It's an urge deeper than you've ever felt. Maybe even love? No, that's idiotic. He never even introduced himself to you. He used you. That asshole plain used you. For what? Well, Kadir, does that sound familiar? No, it does not. At least not familiar enough. I will continue the search after we're done here. He bought my painting. You can track him. That guy, he bought my painting at the gallery. Didn't pay in cash, I think. Maybe you can track him that way? Oh? Did your outlook on him change all of a sudden? He smirks, seemingly enjoying your misery. Personal jabs aside, Thank you for that observation. I will investigate this later. What shall I do with the fledgling, my prince? What is your recommendation, my sheriff? The traditions are clear. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and thy progeny shall be slain. I am ready to fulfill my duty. Stay your hand for just a moment longer, Kadir. I wish to consult my council on this. Make sure everyone is in agreement. Of course. He seems strangely relieved. The prince leaves the main showroom, and about 6 people follow her out. You're about to ask this Kadir what... I really freaking hope I'm still saying that name right. What all this talk of traditions and councils was, when the red-haired woman approaches the two of you. Sophie. Coughing fit. Coughing fit. 1 second. I gotta put the... No. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sheriff, I was wondering if I could have a word with the fledgling. What for? She lowers her voice in response. Come now, Kadir. We all know what the verdict is going to be. Let me speak to them. You might not have to stain your hands tonight after all. Her words grab his attention. His face is hard to read. It's like several emotions are strangling for domination. Anger, sadness, hope, gratitude, resolve. I'll go get my sword. What? Excuse me? Please don't kill me. I didn't do anything wrong. I did all the good things. Can I save this? I don't know how. I don't know how. Thank you for the host. Appreciate it. He steps out of the room the way you came, and you are left in the showroom with the woman in the red dress. She takes you aside, and the eyes of the remaining guests follow you. Well then, fledgling, you are in quite the pickle. What was that about a sword? Wait, did I hear that right? What did he say about a sword? Your hearing isn't faulty. We only have a short while before the prince hears the council out and Kadir returns here with this blade. So listen, please. Last night, you became a vampire. Wait, what? Oh yes, I am well aware of how ridiculous this sounds. But it's the reason why we have these nicer words for it. Kindred, being embraced, having a sire. The fact remains. Oh, it was the music that scared me. The beings called vampires, you're looking at them. They're us. You glance around. Some of the guests are still occasionally looking at you. I am, thank you very much. How are you? Brain. You glance around. Some of the guests are still occasionally looking at you, commenting on you in hushed tones. Many of the patrons are pale. Really pale. Most hold glasses of wine. No, not wine. That's not the right thickness, and not the right color either. That's good to hear. Brain. You're trying to come up with something sensible to say, but you're drawing a blank. Makes a morbid kind of sense. You drank blood last night, there's no denying it, and your breathing is not returned. Your heart remains still. A vampire. Two voices in your head start battling for supremacy. One of them slowly begins to put everything that happened since yesterday together, coming to a conclusion that... Oh, thank you for the follow! This scared the crap out of me. I don't know... Oh my goodness. There we go. It does come up. I don't know why. That scared the hell out of me. Hi. Hello. My goodness. Brain. I lost my place. I'm sorry. Hello to the new followers. Let me see who you are, because I don't have the thing up. Hang on. Come on, move. Hello. Krokvar? I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name properly. And Psychshire. Hello. Okay. Let me get this back on. Okay, here we go. One of them slowly begins to put everything that happened since yesterday together, coming to a conclusion that no matter how insane they might seem, nothing but what she's saying makes sense. The other voice keeps saying, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" on repeat. You're surprised. This is often how it plays out by design. Kadir deliberately keeping you in the dark and all. If we do nothing, you'll be cut down, sure as day follows night. But I'm here to offer you a chance, a way out, under one condition. I will take you under my wing. If you're lucky, the prince will be in a good mood tonight, and your deference? The Kadir will work in your favor. She might agree to this, but only if you swear fealty to me, fealty. I don't do words very well, I'm sorry. I am not making this offer lightly. As your patron, I will take responsibility for you. Your actions will reflect on me. If they reflect negatively, well, I'll make sure you face the consequences. What happens if I agree? Suppose I say yes. What happens then? You survive, hopefully. Or not, depending on the prince's whim. I'm giving you a chance, not a guarantee. But if you take me as your patron, I will be your guide in this new reality, and you will assist me, like a child would a sire. Uh-oh. Vlad, are you awake? Okay, no. Okay. I had to check to make sure Kitty was still asleep. Okay, the whispers really creep me out. Steps and hushed voices can be heard from the side room. It seems the prince and her council are returning to the showroom. Kadir appears from downstairs as well and starts walking towards you. When you hear the verdict, ask to be spared. I will intervene. Remember my condition. She flashes a heart-melting smile towards Kadir, who does not smile back. The sheriff's immaculate suit is now complemented by a curved, oriental-looking metal scabbard, fastened with a colorful sash around his waist. It would look vaguely ridiculous if it wasn't surprisingly intimidating, first and foremost. Kadir takes his place next to you and observes as the print takes center stage again. Loyal kindred of the New York City Camarilla gathered here tonight. I have made my decision regarding the fledgling. She briefly addresses you. I want you to know that this was not an easy decision to make. For your part, you have not done anything to earn our ire. I do feel a genuine sorrow for what must be done. We are all keenly aware that these nights we need to close our ranks and trust the wisdom of our elders and their traditions more than ever before. There's no place for tolerating dissent when our very existence is under constant threat. although I acknowledge some of my council's divergent opinions on this. She takes a look specifically at one of the people who left the room before, a rather plainly dressed, shy-looking man, whose skin has a somewhat healthier tone. He bows his head in deference. I hold the final authority over this fledgling's fate, and I declare that while their embrace might be the sire's responsibility, in their absence it is their progeny that must be punished. It's so rude. Like, it's so mean. Why do I need to be punished for somebody else's mistake? Like, rude. Hella rude. I mean, I get it. To keep the population down and to keep everything safe, I totally get it. But it's still rude. The sentence is final death, to be resolved presently. Kadir, you hear a scraping sound and see that the sheriff has unsheathed his curved sword. It is a beautifully detailed blade, which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparent sharpness makes you freeze up. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Wait a minute. I didn't do nothing wrong. You can't give me outs. You can't give me strikes. You said I was a good boy. No. His quiet mumble is inaudible to nobody but you. His eyes meet yours. You note just a hint of sadness in his countenance, one that quickly vanishes to give way to grim determination. And he's out to bat. He will not get another chance to speak up. Mercy, you make your choice. I don't want to die. Spare me, please. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer. Kadir looks at the prince, awaiting her response. The sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall at a moment's notice. Is there something you'd like to say, Miss Langley? Yes, if I may. At first, the prince looked somewhat annoyed at the distraction, but she stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. The bored elites suddenly look at you with aroused interest, some of them dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by the unexpected twist. The prince nods. Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward. All eyes are on her now, but Kadir's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of our laws. This fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance they could become an asset to our domain. Am I to understand you are volunteering to take this sireless child into your protection? Yes, I happen to think they might hold a potential that would be unfortunate to waste. I do expect their full cooperation, of course. God, the whispers are creepy. Ugh. Whispers can be heard again, an incredulous voice or two, a hushed, "Just behead the fucker," some suppressed exclamations of surprise. Silence! I ask all of you to make note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced by even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. Are you certain that's a responsibility you wish to shoulder, Miss Langley? I'm willing to guide this fledgling and add a valuable ally to our sect in the time of need. Yes, but I would like to receive the right of destruction over them, if it pleases you. Is it smart to be quiet, or is it better to not? I don't know. Give me a chance. I am worth keeping alive, Prince. Give me a chance to prove myself. That remains to be seen. I do take note of your tenacity. See that it doesn't become a burden. I shall grant what you ask. Let it be known, Sophie Langley of the Clan of the Rose will become the fledgling's patron. They shall be considered like sire and child. Miss Langley will take full responsibility for them, and I grant her the right of destruction if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear, however. If I am to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions on this occasion, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla. Substantially so. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Miss Langley. Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. She turns to you. What is your name, child? Jeremy. Because I didn't know what else to name him at the beginning. I'm like, okay. You're Jeremy. Jeremy, Prince. She nods. Welcome to the Camarilla, Jeremy. Oh, okay, so that's what it is. It's a dictionary. That's cool. That's hella cool. Now, this evening proved to be more eventful than I anticipated, but with the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can conclude. Hi, Vlad. Are you awake now? Go see peace. Go see peace. Go see peace. Sorry, I'm talking to the kitty. Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Kadir, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties? Of course, Prince. He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You'll be watched, you'll be judged, and if need be, you'll be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. Well, Jeremy, I think we've both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to a new fruitful partnership. She raises her hand at one of the well-dressed concierge, who now have reappeared in the showroom to refill the guests' glasses. The conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. Tongue, please. He pours it into 2 tall glasses. It's blood again. That much is clear. You are in 2 minds about drinking it, but the memory of last night's hunger makes you wince. You take a tentative sip. Snip. You expected the same blandness you tasted a few hours ago, but this one you actually savor. It's smoky and warm, making you think of a cozy cabin in the woods. It does strike you as a strange image for your mind to jump to when drinking human blood, but it is what it is. You've never tasted anything like it. Do you like it? I think NYC caterers have very bougie ideas about what good blood should taste like. I don't know why I questioned that. Apologies. You must have so many questions. While we're on the topic, perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. Vlad. Hey. Stop biting the bars. Stop it. Go back to sleep. How much, where, and does the taste? How much? I feel this hunger constantly. How much do I have to drink to make it go away? The sad reality is, it'll never go away. No matter how much you drink, you will always be tempted to have more. Unless you consume someone wholly to the last drop, paying for temporary relief with their life. But that's a one-way road to losing your humanity. Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. You're not supposed to eat people all the way. Best start by just taking a single sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood will be more satiating than most anything they serve in a fancy glass, but it can make you more voracious. As to how much you should have, depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink. But it's risky and will tempt the beast, and that is part of our curse. Tomorrow, I shall take you out hunting, and we will explore this topic further. The blood you're having tonight should be enough to keep you happy for now. I know what the beast is, but he doesn't. Let's do this. The prince mentioned something about you and me being like sire and child. What does that mean? Hey! Vlad! Hey! Stop that! Hey! No! Stop biting the bars. Sorry. Helena. I think it's Helena. That's a really weird name. Not a weird name, it's just I don't know how to pronounce it. I mean, Prince Panhard spared you on the condition that I take responsibility for you. Normally, a sire and child are close. One begets the other, after all. Don't bite the bars. No. Stinky. Stinky. Silly cat. Our relationship might not be exactly that of a sire and child, but it is treated as such by our laws. We do not share blood, or that we do not share blood does not matter. You must therefore defer to me in all things. I don't wish to use the right of destruction that Prince granted me, so I will appreciate it if you don't give me a reason to. I promised I'd guide you, and I meant it. Treat me as your mentor and superior, and I will treat you as my loyal retainer and understudy. With me, you can go far. Vlad, please. Mommy will take you out in a little bit. Just give me like another half hour. Just give me like another half hour. Peace? Peace? Eventually I will get like kitten cam or something, but for right now I don't have the equipment for that. With me, you can go far. Without me, you'll be lost to the unfeeling night, and we can't have that. Those of us unaccounted for can easily become a danger to the Masquerade. That's the main reason why, with your sire gone, the prince wanted you out of the picture too. The concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile, and leans in to whisper into her ear. You note that the gallery is now almost empty. I'm being told the gallery is about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. A jalopy? How old are you, honey? The smile she puts on makes you remember last night's encounter in the showroom. A similar eagerness to spend time with this person overtakes you momentarily, and you follow her outside. Your sixth sense tells you she's an artistic soul too, and you unwittingly start projecting good qualities onto her. Vlad! No! Stop biting the bars. Come here. No. Stop it. Well, stop it. Play with your mouse or something. Play with stuff other than the bars of your cage. He's not in a cage. He's in a kennel. I'm sorry. Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce. Oh. Why'd you call it a jalopy? How old are you? Crazy lady? Okay. Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged guy, starts driving immediately. Where did we leave off? I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions. The chief among them is the Masquerade. Stop it! Listen! Stop! I don't have anything you can play with up here. No. Hold on a second. Y'all give me 1 minute. I gotta deal with this kitty. 1 second. Oh, silly cat. Okay. Fix this again. Okay. Okay. As you might have gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery from after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts. So, to the vast majority of kin that we remain that we remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Kitty, please. I will take you out in a short while, please. Here, do you want this? Where did it go? What did I do with it? Do you want this? Would this make you happy? I think it's clean. You want this? Here, chew on that. Play with that. Say, is that one show about a vampire angel still popular? Vampire angel? Like angel? Like Angelus? Like angel? You shake your head in confusion. That's me. Like right now, I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I gave my cat like this toy and he's like freaking out over it. You shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a little bit more dejected than before. Our clandestine ways have always help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip up to the rational minds of the 21st century humanity, and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. Is there anything the movies get right? There has to be some stuff the books or movies got right. Or is it all just vampire propaganda? I'm gonna get yelled at for using that word. There's a kernel of truth in every myth. Those concerning kindred are no exception. There are mortals who sift through and manage to separate the facts, though it doesn't happen thanks to though it doesn't happen thanks to Hollywood. For one, sunlight burns us. That's why we rest during the day. You felt it. More like being dead than being dormant, isn't it? But we have no choice. We are night dwellers, but day sleepers. The more folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally minor nuisance. Garlic, running water, even religious symbols don't repel us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes to the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze, which, under the right circumstances, can often be the same thing. That's a reason to have somebody like my trusted driver, Gregory, making sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. So it's vampires versus humans. Is it good to keep humans friends? They're not humans, they're ghouls. Am I right in thinking that having a human friend or two is necessary then? Or at least useful? In moderation. And best if they don't know your true nature. Also, I would say that subordinates are useful, but friends? I haven't had one of those for many years now. Our little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage friendships. Alliances of convenience, to be broken at a whim, yes, that's more like it. Look, I gave you a toy. Stop biting the bars. No. You're so cute, but you're so annoying. That's more like it. Long-term solidarity does occur in Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. Friends must remain a distant priority at best for us to maintain the Masquerade and thrive as the years pass. With age comes authority. With it comes influence and power, if you wish to reach for them. He seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all the things you've learned tonight. It still feels absolutely unreal. Brain, hello. But as piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you've witnessed. Many questions storm your thoughts, but the one you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. The car stops. You're in the city, in front of an old but well-renovated apartment building. We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? My own apartment. What if I want to sleep in my home? I have an apartment I could go back to. Sleep there. All my stuff's there anyway. Does it have soundproof blinds or a solid secure door? No. I think you'll find this apartment much safer. Come upstairs. Well, what about my stuff? I want my stuff. Are you gonna go get my stuff? Please? Por favor? She leads you through a small hall with a night guard who greets Miss Langley with a good evening, and you take the stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. The abrupt sound changes are a bit startling. Oh, it's a nice apartment, at least. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night. What are you doing? Mommy needs, just 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes. Deemed necessary just the previous, including thick blinds on the windows. The back room has a comfortable-looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy-looking blocks, but no windows. Okay, you little turd. Come here. Come here. No, come here. I'm gonna hold you for a few minutes. No. Let go. Come here. I can do this because you don't need the keyboard. Come here. Pull this out a little bit more. Here. Okay, I have Kitty, so I might be a little distracted, but he won't stop fussing, and I need him to not fuss, so. Back room is a comfortable looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy looking locks, but no windows. Well, how do you like it? No, you can't have the cord to my headphones. This is great. Thank you. No. You're so fussy. You're so silly. No, that's my mic. Apologies. I am so sorry. Okay, we're just gonna cuddle for a minute, okay? Can we cuddle, or are you gonna be a butthead? This is... No! Vlad, please. This is great, thank you. I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow, I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I'll come pick you up tomorrow night. No. Stop it. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors just in case. You need to stop. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became a few shades dimmer. I need to move this away from my face. You inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. Feels strange that Kadir could be more of a thoughtful... No, don't chew this. Don't chew these. No. You're a brat. You are such a brat. Feels strange that Kadir could be more of a thoughtful host than your new sire, even only in that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Columbo reruns. Kojak reruns. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again. What year is this? President of the United States got himself out of the trouble again. Pundits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a little bit less insignificant just 2 days ago. Are you chewing on my headphones? You start drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? You keep coming back to the life you left behind, the people you should contact, the things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll have the chance for either. As you start to feel the same tiredness that made you drift into a cold sleep last night, you settle in the back room. The bed is comforting, and the lack of windows less so. You leave the light bulb on. Looking at it, you realize it's the closest you'll ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. A wave of melancholy overwhelms you. Stop it. Oh, man. That music is intense. A few minutes later, your consciousness fades and you take the plunge into darkness again. Sinking, sinking, sinking. I think we finally did it. Are we good? Can I? Hey. Okay, you guys, I think we're gonna end it here for now. Mostly because I have a little squirt that won't stop being a fuss. And, I don't know what time it is because it's Tuesday, I get that. Oh, wait, I have my phone right in front of me. Erkadur. It is 10 o'clock, so what, we go for like an hour and something. We may pick this up again tomorrow, because this is actually really interesting. So yes, thank you guys for, following and hosting and showing up. I totally appreciate it. We should probably do this again at about same time tomorrow. Thinking. So hopefully little Vlad will not be so disruptive. But yeah, all my information for like Twitter and stuff is down below. And yes, thank you once again, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.